All right. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Smith. I'm the chairman of the Health and Welfare. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, taking your time out of your schedule. I know it's important for you all to be here, and we just want to thank you. Real quick, a couple of housekeeping rules. If you would, whenever you do speak, we give you the floor. Please keep in mind 3 minutes if possible. I know there's a lot of you all, and I know that you all have lives and family and more things probably better to do than sit here and listen to all of us. But again, thank you. If you got to go to the bathroom, bathrooms are outside down the hallway. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and call the Health and Welfare Committee to order. We have a set of minutes in front of us. If you would look over it, and if I could entertain, or if anybody can entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Anybody opposed? All right, we're good. Passes unanimously. So tonight, we'll go ahead and get started. Before we get started, I'm going to ask Mr. Commissioner Robert Fields if he would lead us in prayer. If you have a hat on, please, I'd ask you to remove it for us, please.
If y'all pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the gift of life and the beauty of your nature. Father, as we gather tonight to make these decisions and to hear these requests, we seek your wisdom. These are many qualified charitable organizations, but we need to make decisions based upon what's the best needs for the Wilson County taxpayer. So Father, be with us, be with this committee, Commissioner Chandler, Chairman Smith, Commissioner Clark, myself, as we make these decisions. Again, Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you most of all for your son Jesus, who died in our place, took our place so that we may have communication with you and can spend eternity with you if we choose. Father, we thank you again. Pray all this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Fields. All right, bear with us. This is going to be our first rodeo in reference to being on this committee besides Ms. LeBron down here. So she's going to help us out. Also, I might have to call on an old commissioner in the audience, Ms. Sarah Patton. So bear with us. What do we need to go ahead and get started with? Go ahead and start calling them off from the top.
First come, first serve as far as the list goes, so I'll read them off, and once they get up here, they've got the 3 minutes.
So Ms. LeBron will call out the names, and whoever is representing the organization, if you would, please step up to the front of the podium. Speaking to the mic, please, if you would. Briefly, just tell us who you are, who you represent, what organization you're with, and also just a brief synopsis of what you're requesting and what you're going to do with the funds, if you would. Just try to, again, 3 minutes. I don't want to have to start a timer, so if you could, keep that in mind. If we have to, we'll start a timer, and we'll go that route. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into it.
All right, we got the Wilson County Civic League.
My name is Harry Watkins. I'm Vice President of Wilson County Civic League. We've been doing community work for 30 years. It's our 30th year, and the county has supported us over those years, and we want to thank you for your support that you gave us last year. I was going to bring up our program directors. We got like 4 programs that we run, and they can give you a brief synopsis. They'll have about 30 seconds. I've told them to keep it short. Okay.
Good evening. My name is Rochelle Price, and I am here on behalf of the Civic League Senior Citizens Group. Currently, we have 25 members with 3 pending. We expect to have a meeting. We have a meeting every 3rd Wednesday of each month. We are going to try to have twice a month, beginning in June, and beginning daily access for members who would like to participate in projects and attend opening seminars. Monthly, we try to go to the Roxy or either have a streaming source for the seniors and invite other senior groups if possible. Chair yoga with Bloom Yoga, visit Salt Room and Jimmy Floyd. Art projects for painting and crafts coordinated with Joanne Matthews for watercolors. Imagine That Crafts and Susan Thornton jewelry making. Coordinate knitting and crochet classes. Outings and activities. During May, we want to go to the Museum of African American Music in downtown Nashville. June, host a semi-annual birthday activity with outreach, participate in the Juneteenth history tour, and the remaining of 23, the Wilson County Tennessee State Fair, a fall train excursion, possible trip to Granville or the Ark Encounter, organized raffle and bake sale. Coordinate with the Wharton Garden for maintenance, health, and vegetables. Recruit more and help the Civic League plan fresh food giveaway. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Regina Simonette, and I'm also with the Wilson County Civic League, and I'm representing two programs tonight, and I'll be brief. I'm representing the tutoring program, which is the program that I run. The tutoring program has been established for 29 years, and we serve our community with the youth. And so the program is offered at no cost to our families. It runs, I run two 10-week sessions for a total of 20 weeks throughout the year, and we offer tutoring for students in our community. They come into the program. We offer a brief meal, like a snack, sandwich, and things like that, and then we break out into the classrooms and help them with their homework and any other thing that they've got going on, projects, things like that. We have all accredited teachers that run the program with us, and we usually try to average between 20 to 25 students, with each teacher having no more than 5 students. So it's a small setting. We partner with the classroom teachers in order to support, what they have going on in the classroom, and we try to bridge that gap, right? And help the struggling students with what they might need help with. So we're pretty successful in that, and we want to keep that going. So we appreciate your support in that area. And the other program that I'm representing, if I might, he was unable to be here tonight, is our summer arts program. The summer arts program, I'm just going to read what he said here. It's in its 18th year, the summer arts camp. The theme, let's see, we will explore the importance of the arts through discussion and hands-on activities. Typically, the arts program runs for services about 30 to 35 participants, and they're currently accepting applications. They offer free instruction in music, dance, visual arts, and drama. All of the teachers are highly qualified, and they plan to use the money to prepare for a field trip at the end of June. And they're wanting to go to the Playhouse in Crossville, Tennessee. I think they're doing a play, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So that's what they're going to be using some of the funds for. Some of the places that they've gone in the past have been the Capitol Theater, the Veterans Museum, Fiddler's Grove Discovery, the Parthenon, the Center for the Visual Arts, Fisk University, and other art galleries. And some of the supporters, community supporters, have been Cracker Barrel, the Lebanon Democrat, the Wilson Post, and Wilson Bank and Trust. So also representing the tutoring and the visual arts. So thank you.
My name is Reggie Hatcher. I'm a board member at the Wilson County Civic League and also the athletic, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Athletic recreation director at the Wilson County Civic League. I run the summer basketball league for students in the community over there around Market Street, but it's open to all members of Wilson County that want to come. It's free of charge. We run it on Tuesdays and Thursdays through the month of July, and basically we do a skills camp, and we also give them an opportunity to have camaraderie with the kids they've never met before, and also some free play games each day to try to make it to where they get some fun out of it, because some of them they'll tell you if they were here that it's the only summer vacation they could get. And so we've ran it for, this is the 9th year, no, this will be the 10th year. It would be 11, but COVID got us 1 year. But basically, that's one of our big things that we do. We also do sometimes, if we can get enough interest, we run camps during the year, like quarterly. And basically, there's a need for that because kids, sometimes when they get out of school, they looking for a little recreational activity or something like that, so we try to provide that. Basically, the support that you've given us over the years has helped us make sure that we get that done. And we definitely appreciate everything that you've done for us so far over the years. And basically, we're just looking for the continued support, and we appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. Is that 30 seconds?
About
We're 7
35.
minutes and 18 seconds in. We are.
All right.
Is that it?
Once you've completed the cycle of coming up here, as long as the committee is cool with it, you're more than welcome to go ahead and head home.
Yes. Thank you, Brian.
Next, we will have the Love One Another Embassy of Joseph Storehouse.
Good evening. My name's Benny Nolan. I'm director of Joseph Storehouse and president of Love One Another Embassy. First of all, I just want to say thank you for last year's gift. It meant a lot to us in helping us feed those who are in need. Joseph Storehouse has been serving Wilson County and surrounding area for 24 years. We have had a focus through the years. Our focus has been on the disabled, the elderly, the working challenged, the unemployed, and the displaced, as well as single parents. Through the years, though, we have just developed a program. Those who are in need are more than welcome to come to Joseph Storehouse to fill out an application to receive food. Unfortunately, due to the changing times in which we're facing right now, quarter over quarter, the first 3 months of this year compared to the first 3 months of last year, we've seen an increase of 73.3% of our households. We're now serving over 600 households a month, and we only see that number growing as we look to the future. Also, too, during that time, we give an opportunity for our local citizens. We allow an opportunity for about 120 volunteers to come in once a month to help us serve those in need, which we do consider that an honor. Our biggest concern as we look to the future is the availability of food, the amount of food that we need. We firmly believe as we move further in with some of the things going out on the West Coast in California with floods and droughts, we do believe it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for us to procure food, even though at this point in time we're doing fairly well. Being partner agency with Second Harvest Food Bank in Nashville has given us greater opportunity. And we have been their partner for years. We do find that our availability for the amount of food we're able to get from them is somewhat smaller than it has been in the past. So that's a concern of ours. But we're very fortunate to be in this community. We consider an honor and privilege to serve those who are in need. And again, we thank you for what you've done for us in the past, and hopefully we can receive some resources for the future. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
How much are you all requesting?
$9,000.
$9,000.
Yeah. And we're doing that just to procure additional food as well as deferring freight cost. We do have some food that we do receive free. It is donated, but it's $2,100 a month to get it to us. So,
Do you get any other contributions from anywhere for anyone else within?
oh yeah, no more municipalities. We basically are individually supported, church supported, as well as some foundations, as well as some companies.
Anybody else have any questions they'd like to ask? Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you for your
appreciate it.
past
Yes, sir.
support. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Watertown Senior Citizens.
I'm Nell McKinney, and I'm the treasurer for the Watertown Senior Citizens. It's good to see all y'all's new members.
Yes, nice
I've
to
been
meet
with
you.
Sarah for a long time. I've been coming down here so much, I don't even bring notes anymore. But the Watertown Senior Citizens, we're a small group, but it's open to any senior citizen in Watertown. And once again, when you say senior citizens, our numbers kind of change from year to year with death and sickness and all, but we have a good time. We we only meet twice a month, but those are two special days. The first Wednesday, we all bring a covered dish lunch, and y'all are invited. I'd love to set up a date for you all to all come and have lunch with us and see what some of that good southern Watertown cooking's like.
That's
But we care about each other. It's just a small group, but if we don't meet, we're in touch with everybody. If somebody's sick, we get in touch with everybody so everybody can check on them. If somebody's not going to be there, they let us know so we won't sit there and wonder where's so-and-so. And it's just a good group. And on Wednesday, our special thing, the third Wednesday, is we go to one of the local restaurants and have lunch. And that's a big deal for senior citizens. We enjoy the communications and just being together. You know, when I first started coming, I wasn't that much of a senior citizen, but I reached that point, and I feel like it's so important to all of us.
Yes, ma'am.
How many members do you have?
There's about 25. We like I said, it comes and goes, but it's a great group.
If Mike Jenny is a member.
Well, he could be. He's definitely the age, and he shows up quite often. Oh, he'll definitely come and eat
Can we
with
send him an
us.
application?
Yeah, he'll come and eat with us. He meets with, Mike is very supportive of anything we do. And since we do meet at the community center, we try to do things for the building to keep it updated. So our restrooms wasn't handicap accessible, and I guess what was in there had been put there when the building was built. So we decided with some of our money to update our bathrooms. And I know one of them's completely finished, and the other one may be by the time we meet Wednesday. So we're going to be real proud of that. So that's about it. We bought new tables for the community center 2 or 3 years ago. Once again, COVID played a hard part in us, was when you can't meet and get together. That's hard.
And for the record, do you all serve just Wilson County and Watertown area alone?
Well, anywhere in Wilson County, but primarily Watertown.
Yes, ma'am.
If you live in Mount Juliet, want to come see us, that'd be fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
That it?
Anything else for anybody? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
We have Prospect Easter seals.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kathy Breland. I work at Prospect Easter Seals, and I have with us one of our members that we support tonight, Michael. And we are here to first tell you thank you for your past support. It's been wonderful for helping us with our transportation cost, and Prospect has been here for 55 years in Wilson County, transporting individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities all over town and even into Nashville. And we really appreciate, y'all being here tonight. And transportation is actually a really big deal to us because it helps us. It plays a vital role in getting, in having our members go to feel included and accepted into the community. Whether they're going to the doctor, going to work, church, they can get there, and we want to be able to get them wherever they want to, go. So it's super important to us. And we have an aging fleet of about 49 vehicles that this year we've driven over about 500,000 miles, and right now we have to date about a $53,000 just from fuel and maintenance cost on it. So we are just hoping that y'all can help us with that. And Michael, if you want to tell them what transportation and being an Easter Seals Prospect does for you, that would be great, how it helps you.
Well, I would say how the transportation helps me. It helps me a lot, mainly because I can't drive, and so it's really important, to me, and especially in my everyday life. Like I have staff that take me grocery shopping, take me out to eat, take me to the store, and also they and sometimes we even like, they also, like, they take me to doctor's appointments too. And also, I have a staff that, you know, Melissa, that works at the Prospect Day Center, and Judy, and Ryan, they come pick me up at my house and take me to the day center. And then my job coach from the day center transports me to Belmont University. That's where I work. And so I guess you can say that, well, I would really, really love it if all of you would definitely keep that going, because it really does help me. It helps me a lot, and I enjoy it. I get to do fun things, hang out with my friends, do outings, and I'm really thankful and grateful to be here with all of you. And I really do appreciate your time and listening to me.
Thank you. Question. Question for you. Do y'all receive any federal grants or any assistance throughout the year?
Not any federal grants, no.
Okay. All right.
Michael, you did a good job.
Yeah.
And he did, I'm proud of him. But thank you all so much, and we would love for your continued support. Sure. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Good job. Thank you.
I take my list away. You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
They're signing in. I've got somebody signing in. One
Okay.
second. Thank you. Next, we have Cumberland Mental Health Volunteer Behavioral.
Good evening, I'm Nathan Miller. I'm with Volunteer Behavioral Health, or Cumberland Mental Health, as you guys probably know here local. This is Miss Shirley Jennings. She's our local director here at Cumberland Mental Health in Lebanon. Cumberland Mental Health has been here since 1978. We're a private nonprofit. We work with those who are behavioral and mental health challenged, some A&D stuff as well. So what we're asking for this year is the same prospect that we've had for the last several years, same proposal. And that's to help our clients with medications that can't afford them, to also help pay some unpaid balances for the clients that come in the meantime between the time that we can get them established with some of their payer source. We also offer some debriefing services for the citizens, law enforcement, and emergency management of Wilson County, if that's something that they want, and which we have done that over the last few years. Mental health training to emergency management employees and local law enforcement, if that's something that they've looked for. We did that for several years prior to COVID, so now that's done a little bit differently through the Wilson County Sheriff's Office. But before that, I think I had served them somewhere the last 6 years before that. So, and then we'll also continue to offer consultation services to Wilson County employees that may have issues, sometimes that, and that'll be free of charge. That'll be covered in any kind of financial compensation that you guys give us or look for. People having divorces, loss of loved ones, that type of thing, financial problems. We all have those things sometimes, and they feel due to the stigma, they don't always want to go to somewhere, and establish some kind of record. So, we'll be glad to offer that service as well under this plan. So, this is something we've done for several years. We have noticed that the unpaid balances have went up over the years. So the last couple of years, so that's a big piece to us. What we do is we try to establish them with a payer source, but since COVID though, we've had about a 30% increase in our client load. So that's increasing those unpaid balances as well. Anything that we do for our clients, we do try to hook them up with a PAP or a payer assistance program for the medications, but a lot of those medications are pretty expensive. So in order to get them started right away, we're looking for that help. So we often cover some of that cost. I will say this, Volunteer that owns the parent company of Cumberland Mental Health is quite a large agency, but any money that's received here stays in Wilson County. Okay, I just feel like I need to say that. And you know, we appreciate anything you can do for us. Do you guys have any questions about anything?
Nathan, thank you. I know you from there at the sheriff's office. I know you've done a lot for them, so thank you for being here. And I like that you reiterated that even though that you guys do provide services for other counties, correct?
That's correct,
Okay.
yes.
That you're going to make sure that if awarded, that money will be used for the Wilson County area alone, correct?
And that's correct. Ms. Shirley's staff picks out a lot of those folks in need and works with the pharmacy that we have there in-house. The pharmacy in-house does not belong to us, but it works as a partnership with us, a community partner. So that's, you know, we work together with the medical staff and that pharmacist to make sure those happen. Like I said, her staff picks out a lot of these people that are on these lists that gets their stuff paid for. And they are Wilson County. I go through the list myself and double check them, so.
So your clients are vetted by either the sheriff's department or hospital or, you know, I mean, before they come to you?
They come from a little bit of everywhere. We just have a good history with the sheriff's department, with working with them and Sheriff Bryan.
I mean, I couldn't just walk off the street and come to you.
You could, yes, sir. And that's the majority of our services, is people, you know, right off the street. And if I can take just a minute, we do have a same-day service access model since COVID has started. So you can call into our central access line, get your appointment with a therapist on the phone or video, the med provider by phone or video, and a care manager all in the same day. That's where some places you'd have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get in the first time. So that's one other reason that we've had the increase in the unpaid balances and the medication. It's because through that we're able to serve some of those people a lot faster, which continues to grow that caseload. So you've got a lot more people in Wilson County now receiving services than you did before COVID. I can guarantee that.
And how much are you all requesting this year, Nathan?
$25,000 is what we're asking for, but we'll be glad to get anything we can.
Thank you, sir.
Always glad for your gifts.
Anything else from the committee? All right, thank you, Nathan.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys. Y'all have a good evening.
You too. Can we have Wilson County Special Olympics, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is George Walker. I am the director for Wilson County Special Olympics. Our mission is to provide athletic events and services for individuals with special needs within Wilson County and Lebanon Special School District. We are wholly funded by ourselves alone. We receive no monies whatsoever, even though we are governed by the state of Tennessee Special Olympics. We have to fund everything within ourselves within the area, such as transportation, uniforms, if we send our athletes to any events, whether they be area events, whether they be state events. This last year, we were able to send some athletes to the national events in Orlando, Florida. So everything we do is fully in-house, that we are funded. I don't know, we serve any athlete from the ages of 8 to 99 plus is who we work with. So I don't know if you have any questions for me specifically, but
They should go and see some of these athletes.
you know, we've had
Flag football teams.
we have flag football, we have bocce ball, we have golf, we have track and field. In fact, we just had our area track and field event at Lebanon High this past April. We have swimming, and then we also send athletes to state and regional events for basketball. We have swimming at the Jimmy Floyd for regional events that we host every year. We also are getting ready to host regional bocce ball for the area. So, what kind of questions do you have for me? Usually everyone has a question for me.
Just curious on how many people you serve.
Golly, we serve every school in the county, along with every school in Lebanon Special School District. So we serve thousands of students as far as the county is concerned. And then our community athletes, we have about 200 community athletes that come and All of our administration, all of our coaches are volunteers, so so the community athletes usually come to practices, whatever event that they may be involved in, and most of the time they're involved in various events. So, and then we provide the transportation for these athletes to all the practices and to all the events that we have throughout the state or wherever the case may be.
And how much are you all requesting this year?
We're
in your
requesting
application?
$6,500, and we usually but we will take anything that you want to give out to us.
Sure, absolutely.
We're appreciative of last year's grant that you allowed us as well.
Anything else from the committee? Any questions? Thank you, sir, so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Big Brothers of Mount Juliet.
Yes, my name is Sherry Bilbrey. I'm president of Big Brothers of Mount Juliet. We're a nonprofit organization. And I think we served around over 1,000 children this year. It was down a little bit. We just have to, we get funds from Middle Tennessee Electric, we get funds from you all. We get funds from, I think there's about 4 different places we get funds from. And it doesn't go very far when you're trying to get gifts for children and pay water bills, electrical bills, sewer bills, and we do different things. We get medication for people if they call us. We just do a lot of things for people. We've helped with rent. If people call us, we try to help them with things like that. And, we've had people come back and be members if we help them with rent or something like that when they get on their feet. We can't pay their whole rent, but we help them, and then we try to find churches and things like that that'll step in. We've even helped with people that cannot pay their funeral expenses if they don't have insurance. We just try to help people all through the community with anything they need. It's a hard thing, but there's not a paid member of this organization. We have about 25 members, and we operate out of the Charlie Daniels Park now that all this COVID happened, thank God. We bag our toys now. We used to let them come in and pick the toys out, and since all this happened, we just bag their toys for them, and they come through a line, and we hand them the toys bagged up already. We haven't had a complaint yet. We haven't had anybody complain. We try to give them, one big toy, a medium toy, 2 small toys, and then we give them all kinds of stocking stuffers per child. We haven't had any complaints at all. So we have a hard time. We have a hard time finding a place to park our vehicles, to put the toys in. We've got a gentleman right now that's letting us put it on his place, and he watches it real close. We're fortunate. So we're doing pretty good. We stay low on funds, but God's with us every day. Every Christmas, we get donations, and we set boxes up in Walgreens, all their businesses in Mount Juliet, and then actually the city of Mount Juliet, they're wonderful. They go out and pick these donations up. We don't do the food boxes anymore. If people really need food and they don't have food stamps or anything, the Mount Juliet Health Center has stepped in. They are phenomenal. They have helped in, and they help us get the food for the ones that do not have food stamps or anything like that. I don't know what we do without them. They're wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Thank you.
That's-
Any questions from the committee?
No, but I have a comment.
Yeah.
Back when I lived in the Atlanta area, I was involved in Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and I was a big brother to a kid, and I was responsible, or not responsible, but I took on the responsibility to take care of that young man.
mhm.
Do you have a similar program like that?
No, we can't, we don't do the Big Sisters and Big Brothers, but there is a Big Sister, Big Brother program, you know, in Nashville. And if somebody comes to us like that, we do refer them to them. And yes, yeah, we work with them. Yes, we do. So, got any questions?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you all for helping us.
Yes, ma'am.
And anything that we get from you all, we appreciate it. We don't ask any questions. Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Rehab 23.
Considering that there are 3 first responders here, I'm not sure what I should say or what I shouldn't say.
Well, I can tell you right now, the 3-minute time limit's out of it with Lynn.
We need to cut on the clock.
Okay, I'm Lynn Yeager, the president of Rehab 23. We have one sole mission, and that is to support the 800-plus first responders here in Wilson County. We'll have our 10th anniversary this year, and the 3 of you that are first responders, we've been with you 24/7. Cold nights, tornadoes, anything that was going on, we have been there to provide the needed service, and that's what we do. So the grant that we've asked for is dedicated to our insurance. Insurance is expensive when you have vehicles and a number of volunteers driving, so we have good insurance that covers us beyond just driving and for the vehicles, but for our volunteers that are out when they're out serving the first responders.
You applied before?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get last year?
7,500, I believe. Same level.
Gotcha.
Is that what you're asking for, requesting for this year, 7,500? Or
Yes.
Okay. And you serve just Wilson County alone, correct?
With the exception, we have a good cooperation. There are now multiple rehab units around Metro.
Mm-hmm.
Box 55, for example, we helped them back during the bombing. And so if there's a need outside Wilson County, we will go to.
Kind of like a mutual aid?
Yes,
situation?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Anything else from the committee? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. You got this, don't be nervous.
I'm so nervous.
Please don't.
Hi, my name is Jamie Phillips, and I've just been named the program director for the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Tomorrow, it will be 2 weeks. So, okay.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Relax.
I was
we're
in
good.
Coleman on Friday, so.
Oh, bless your heart.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So before starting my experience with the center, I was unaware of the money it takes, the time and thought to keep seniors active, interested, and well-fed. Today, we're here requesting the grant to help assist us in keeping them well-fed. We're asking for this grant to provide nutrition to seniors, to the community, and throughout Wilson County. We currently have almost 1,300 members, and we serve an average of 240 meals a day. We serve homebound seniors, curbside pickup, and then we have the seniors that come in and enjoy the meal with us and their friends. With this money, we're also able to deliver those meals to the seniors outside of, just in city and inside the county. 40% of our members live outside of the city limits, but in Wilson County. The 22% increase that we're asking from last year is just, I mean, we're all experiencing, this is so nerve-wracking. Sorry.
Good.
22% increase we're requesting from the previous year donation reflects the cost of the food increases that we're all experiencing in our own homes. All of this money will be used to help provide meals to those seniors. So that's all.
You're good.
Okay. Y'all have any questions?
Yeah, you said you have 1,300 members.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Mount Juliet Senior Center just had a fundraiser a couple of weeks ago, and Commissioner Chandler is on that board of directors. Of course, they don't have near that many members, but they also have an annual membership fee.
Yep.
Which they charge $60. What does
35.
35.
Yeah, 35. So
Question.
And your senior center is a lot nicer than Mount Juliet.
I've never been to the other one. I've barely been to ours.
I think, does the city of Lebanon provide y'all space?
Yes, they do.
That's one of the differences, Robert, is our city doesn't provide a space.
I know they don't.
I think we're working towards that,
We've heard
maybe.
that
Yeah.
It's a sensitive subject on that one.
Right.
Yeah. Question, how long ago has it been since the membership fee's been raised? Do you know any of that information?
I don't. Pat, do you know?
Last year? What was it last year, John? Do you know? 25? Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks.
Well, I can say that I've had the opportunity to visit both senior citizen centers in the past, and what Mount Juliet's might lack in accommodations, they certainly make up for in hospitality. So.
Absolutely.
Wilson County Community Help Center.
Good evening. I'm Karen Rudzinski. I'm the Executive Director at Wilson County Community Help Center. I want to say thank you for your past support. We have definitely appreciated it. We have asked for the same thing for the past few years because we don't receive any other assistance for that. But for 35 years, the center has served the residents of Wilson County, and in 2022, almost 30,000 clothing items were distributed, over 102,000 pounds of food, $80,835 in utility assistance, $1,200 in medical prescriptions, and 228 cases of Ensure. That number for Ensure was down a little bit this past year. We had to go back and get everybody up to date on their prescriptions, and it dipped a little bit because it took people longer than they expected to get their prescriptions renewed and in place. The year before, we provided 505 cases. We have a thrift store in our center where profits from the sales go right back into our programs and services. We also receive monetary donations from individuals, businesses, churches, schools, organizations, grants, and one special event each year, which is coming up this Saturday, our Ducky Derby event that we hold. So to continue to provide programs and services, we depend on support such as Wilson County government. These funds have helped us provide the increased need of Ensure. We are requesting funding to purchase 350 cases of Ensure in 2023 to 2024. We provide those cases free of charge as long as they have a prescription for them. Thank you for your consideration and for your generous support. You guys have questions?
I don't have anything. I'm good. Thank you so much.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
Leeville FCE Club.
Hi, I'm Frances Baker from the Leeville FCE Club, Family Community Education. Some of you may not have known, back in 2020, our 95-year-old building was blown down. So we was able to get a double wide, and that's what we use as our clubhouse now. We do take each month, 2 different ladies will take candy, cookies, cake down to the fire hall down there on 109. We wanted to do something for our community. And we sponsored the Premium Quilt at the fair. We help with different charities and everything, you know, around in the Wilson County. But with our utilities and with mowing, with your insurance and everything, amounts up. Now, we do try to have like a yard sale and a bake sale at our craft bazaar in the fall. But anything that y'all could help us with, we would appreciate it. Any questions?
What's y'all's total budget per year? Do you know that?
Well, we have, like I say, we don't like to say a budget part, but we have utilities, water, electricity, and we have to pay commercial water bill.
Sure.
And then, of course, I keep it on maintenance during the winter and summer to kind of keep it. We have.
The largest funding source? Are we the largest funding source for y'all?
Y'all are the only one besides our little fundraising yard sale and our bake sale we have at the craft fair. That's the only thing that we have.
Anything else from the committee?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Mid-Cumberland Young Marines.
Good evening. I'm Nathan Chandler. I'm the unit commander for Mid-Cumberland Young Marines. Again, want to thank you all for your past support for the Young Marines. So we're a national youth education and service program organization for both boys and girls. We serve children ages 8 to 18. And the program, the Young Marines program, promotes mental, moral, and physical development of its members. We focus on teaching leadership, teamwork, self-discipline, and we spend a lot of time promoting a healthy and drug-free lifestyle. We try to impart self-confidence, academic achievement, honoring our veterans, good citizenship, community service, and living a healthy and drug-free lifestyle. So we've got at Mid-Cumberland, we've got about 32 Young Marines on our rolls right now. We're still in a building phase from COVID. We were hit pretty hard with COVID. And so we're looking for, we don't get any, all of our adult volunteers are volunteers. We don't have any paid staff. We meet year-round about twice a month with the kids and do various activities. And one of the big expenses that we have, we offset as much as we can with fundraising, but is travel expenses. For example, we've got 12, I think I got about 12 Young Marines that we're going to take to an encampment with some other Young Marines organizations up in Michigan, and then we're going to have to pay for the travel. It's going to be maybe about $1,500. We have a couple of Young Marines going to a leadership school in the summer that's put on by the headquarters, and there'll be other Young Marines from all around the country coming, but our unit has to pay the travel for that. So the unit tries to pay half of the travel and then put the other half on the Young Marines. So that's one of our bigger expenses that we're looking to cover. Anybody got any questions?
Yes. I'm very familiar with the Mount Juliet High School JRC Marines. Those young men and women are fantastic.
Yes.
Do y'all work together?
Not officially, no, because they are Marine Corps JROTC's officially affiliated with the Marine Corps, whereas the Young Marines is started out affiliated with the Marine Corps League. So we are authorized by the Marine Corps, but we're not affiliated with the Marine Corps, so we don't get any money. Now, sometimes we work at the same events and we do some cross-training together, but we don't have any official ties with Marine Corps JROTC.
What age group do you serve?
Again, 8 to 18. So we've got a very broad age group. Most of the Young Marines that I have in the unit right now are probably between 9 and 14. That's the biggest age group we've got right now.
I feel like you lose them to the JROTC when they get into
No, I've actually got a couple that do JROTC and Young Marines, because we're extracurricular, so we don't do, we do our stuff on Saturdays and stuff. So we're more akin to like the Boy Scouts. So it's an add-on to what they do. It's cool.
I'll say thank you for investing in the kids. How much are you guys requesting this year?
I honestly am not sure. I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't when they filled
25.
out. Is it 25? That sounds about right. Okay. Just like I said, just this one trip that we're going to do. We try to do at least one big trip a year, and then we'll do some smaller encampments, and then we've got to send some to leadership school. So that usually is about $2,000 to $2,500 a year that we would spend in travel.
And I might have missed it. Do you receive any other additional funding?
We meet in Mount Juliet, so we've got have a request for some help through Mount Juliet City as well. I think that's like $500, and then I got some money. I'm a part of the Marine Corps League down in Music City. We got I think $500 annually from them. But our biggest source of funding is really our own fundraisers. We do several fundraisers throughout the years.
I'll give you a suggestion. You might want to contact the Dale Webb Veterans Club.
Dale Webb.
Dale Webb Veterans Club.
All right, I'll give that a try.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
I think he's putting them off on John.
Welcome back, John. All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate
All right,
it.
thank you all. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Vietnam veterans?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Terry Yates. I'm the current treasurer of the Vietnam Veterans of America chapter here in Wilson County. We are continuing our mission. Next Saturday will be in 15 years. Our mission is to help the less fortunate veterans here in Wilson County. 6 years ago, we sat down, figured out how many food baskets we were giving out for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we did 25. And we said, wow, that's amazing. This past year, we did 90. Food prices are getting out of control. So we did 90 for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we decided to do Easter this year. So we did another 82 food boxes. We help them pay their power bill. We help them with their water bill, sewer bill, whatever they need. We've done some minor repairs in their houses, and we make sure that they're comfortable. And we're going to continue doing that. I'm asking for $4,000. Last year, I paid out just a hair over $13,000 to help these veterans in Wilson County. Our main moneymaker is our food trailer, which you've probably seen at the fair. Stop by. We do about 8 shows a year. We're doing one Saturday for the Spring Fest, and then 2 weeks later, we're doing the Red Tractor Antique Show. That's our main source of income. But the only grant we get is from you guys, and we appreciate it so much. I'm under 3 minutes.
Appreciate your service.
Thank you for saying that. Questions?
Comment, just want to say, echo what Commissioner Chandler said. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. I know it takes a lot of time, and you know, that's going to these shows and doing the food truck, and I know 4,000 is not a lot, but it does help. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does.
But we appreciate you taking time out to serve our veterans and putting your service before self, as you would say.
We're going to keep doing it.
Being a member of that chapter.
Yep.
I constantly get emails about where they're going to be because I can't go, okay?
Right.
But in most instances, but talking about community involvement, VBA 1004 is there.
Without a doubt.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
How many members are there?
We have 146 members, about 65 active, and
we're getting older.
And what's the cost to join?
Pardon me?
What's the cost to join?
Nothing.
Or you can join for free?
We cover it. You can join for free. More than welcome to have you. I have a lot of members in Del Webb.
First Monday night.
Max Wicks.
Anything else from the committee? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Cedar Croft Home.
Hello, I'm Diana Cavender. I've been a board member with Cedar Croft Home for 4 years, and I need to apologize because I was told this morning I was doing this. So Peggy Zide, who has been our administrator for, it'll be 20 years next year, asked me real quick and sent me this packet that she sent you all. So that I don't embarrass her, I wanted to give you from our webpage just an overview. Cedar Croft Home is a facility dedicated to the care and welfare of mentally handicapped, disadvantaged, and homeless men, established in 1974. I'm sure you all know T.A. Bryan. I work with him, so he's a love. And he started it way back then, and it became licensed in 1996. And we are a nonprofit. Last year, we went under the blanket, if you will, of the Wilson County Foundation that started here. So, but we're still a nonprofit, but just under them. It helps us a lot with, we're investing some of our cash that we have, and also it helps with doing the taxes and everything. So currently we have 136 men. I'm sure you've seen them walking around the square, and they're just the sweetest guys in the world. I could just spend hours talking to them. They're so nice. So they get round-the-clock help. We never turn anyone away due to inability to pay. It's just if we have a waiting list now. So I see that Peggy has asked for $5706.50 for some mattresses and sheets, which, believe me, we go through a lot. We try to get stuff sometimes from Amazon. I know every year she reaches out to you all for about the same amount. I try doing grants. That's primarily why I sort of got asked by Tommy to join the board. He says, since you're doing grants anyway, you might as well come and listen to the board. And unfortunately, though, we're not little kids, we're not puppies. A lot of people do not want to give older gentlemen with mental or physical handicaps money. So if you have any questions, I try to help you with it.
You said you had 136 patients, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Some stay in the
Resident.
home, and some can live in the houses that surround the main Old McFarland Hospital. So we're on College Street.
And what is your main source of income that's provided for you all?
They get Section 8 we get food stamps, the residents, whatever they can pay, and then donations from their families sometimes. We do the big payback every year, which sometimes brings us some money. I've tried Middle Tennessee Electric for some things, washers and dryers and stuff like that. We are very lean. Our accountant says that our admin percentage is like fabulous compared to most nonprofits, so we are very lean.
Any questions from the committee? Any comments? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mount Juliet Help Center.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Smith. I'm the director of the Mount Juliet Help Center. And we've been around since 1983. We're a food pantry, and we offer emergency utility assistance to West Wilson County. So our service area is 109 west to the county line. That was set in 1983. I don't really know how they came about that, but that's what it is. We are a client choice food pantry. That means they get to pick what they want from the list that we have. That way we don't waste food. We can make our supplies last longer, and people get what they need and not what they don't. We also supply non-perishables and toiletries, and they include milk, eggs, meat, produce, and bread with every order. And we base it on the size of the family. In 2022, we gave out 186,000 pounds of food. So, and we served over 1,400 families. And in 2022, we paid over $62,000 in past due utility assistance. We will pay electricity, natural gas, water, sewer. This has to be past due. So in 2022, we were way busier, like everyone's already said, than we were in 2021. We distributed 44% more groceries. We had 74% more families that we served. And we had 67% more new clients, that's first timers. Like just last month, we had 20 first-time families. So every month, it's new people that need help, as well as, you know, other people. Let's see, we saw a $19,000 increase in utility assistance from 21 to 22. One of the things we're really proud of is our summer food program. We distribute boxes 2 times a week to kids that might be getting the backpack program or free reduced lunches during the school year. So we give boxes that have about 4 days worth of breakfast, lunch, and snack items. And that also increased 75% from 2021 to 2022. We gave out 891 boxes last year. And we do that from the time school closes till it starts back up again. And then we do a school supply giveaway, and that's backpacks and school supplies, and we did 324 of those last year. We're having our 40th anniversary open house on May 13th, and we'd love anybody to come to that. So that's what we do.
Question, since you all serve west of 109 into Mount Juliet, does the city of Mount Juliet, do they help?
We do get a grant from them also.
What, may I ask what you all have been awarded through them
I
in the
would not
past?
be able to tell you. I can't remember. It's like 5,000 to 6,000
Okay.
range, I think.
Okay.
It's very similar to what we
Yes,
get
ma'am.
similar from y'all.
And what are you all, how much are you all asking for?
We're asking for 10,000 this year.
For 10?
I know a lot of the churches have partnerships with the schools with the backpack program. Our Sunday school class does at Rutland. Does that coincide with what you're doing? Because I know you mentioned the backpack program. We need to make sure that they have it for the weekend.
Right. So, but we buy our own food or get it donated. Like the churches don't contribute to our
Well, our
box
Sunday school
program.
class, I mean, we do it.
But for you, yeah. So we're trying to fill that gap while y'all take a break during the summer. Yeah.
Do y'all get any assistance from any other funding?
We don't get any other grants. Those are the 2 grants plus United Way. We get United Way. But everything else is individuals, businesses, and churches.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Carolyn, thanks for what you do.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Wilson Books from Birth.
I'm Peggy Simpson, and I'm the coordinator for the Wilson Books from Birth. That's the replication of the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library here in Wilson County. We've been doing this 17 years. And when we started this in 2005, of course, you know Dolly Parton started it in her county, Sevier. She took it to the governor of the state, and he decided that we should have it across the state of Tennessee in all the counties. But before we could get into the county commission had to adopt a resolution saying it was okay for us to do this, to get it into our county. So that was in June of 2005. September of 2005, we had our first book order. We're under the nonprofit, the Wilson County Business and Education Committee, Constellation, excuse me. And we are, have been in business, of course, since 2005. The 2020 census, I'll tell you this a little bit, because we have right now 8,859 under age 5 children in our county. And the 2020 census, the under age 5 population across the state went down, but it didn't in Wilson County. You all know Wilson County is growing. It went up 21% back in 2020. So since 2005, Wilson Books from Birth has actually served 25,000 children. Over 990,000 books have been gone out to children in Wilson County. Right now we have 6,100 children in the program. You will probably ask the question, why in the world are we sending books? Why did Dolly Parton want to do this? Why did she want to get the books out to the children under the age of 5? Now, I don't know whether you all have children in the program, or ever had children in the program, but studies show that 80% of that child's brain develops by the time that child is 3 years old. So if that child could get a book at home in the mailbox addressed to that child, then bring it in and that parent sit down and read to that child, the child read back to them, say words back, that helps develop that child's brain, vocabulary, school readiness, and learning and reading. And achieving those skills to us is a milestone because a child's education, it's the educational process. Success in school is important, high school graduation, and even the productive workforce. So we appreciate what you all have done for us for the last 17 years. And we appreciate that you're doing the same thing that you have done before, the same grant that we received for the last couple of years. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you from the committee. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Question, one question.
Okay.
I'm sorry. How much are you all requesting?
9,500. That's what
Yes,
we
ma'am.
asked for last year. Okay, and we got. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Wilson County Christmas for All and Lebanon Youth Baseball. We'll do both.
Good evening, I'm Rick Smith. I'm the chairman of Christmas for All and the treasurer for Lebanon Youth Baseball, so I'll kind of do them both as quickly as I possibly can. Wilson County Christmas for All is an offshoot of a program started by the Lebanon Fire Department back in the 40s, where they used to get toys in, rehab them, and put them back out again. We are a program now that just takes donations in, gives gifts out to kids. Approximately 2,200 to 2,300 children received gifts from us this year. We operate out of the old Hartman luggage warehouse on Bypass. It's been a program that has been going on, like I said, since the 40s. Christmas for All actually started in 1993, I believe. I'm the latest chairman. There's been numerous chairmen throughout the years. We provide gifts from ages 0 to 13. We primarily work on the area from 109 east. Big Brothers in Mount Juliet works in the area from 109 west. We coordinate with them as far as making sure we don't duplicate names and so on and so forth. We get a lot of our names through the Wilson County schools, Lebanon City schools, and just people walking into the Department of Human Services, where our program's been going on for the last almost 20 years through the Department of Human Services. It's been a great program. We have no qualifications for the gifts. We don't care about your economic status. If you need to get a gift for a kid, we will provide the gifts for those children, somewhere in the area of between $50 and $80 per child. Like I said, last year we gave out 2,200 kids, approximately maybe 2,300, somewhere in that general vicinity. Are there any questions?
Thanks for what you do.
It's all based on volunteers, and we have a lot of volunteers, and it's a great little program. And we appreciate the help y'all give us through the years. Okay, let's jump to Lebanon Youth Baseball. I'm the treasurer there. We started that program in 1955. We're ongoing. As a matter of fact, we're playing at the present time. We have approximately 950 kids playing. Ages range from 4 to 15. We just recently picked up the old Babe Ruth program from the Lebanon Lions Club. We've revitalized that. We've got 6 teams that are going to be starting here shortly, with an extra 100 kids playing there in the age groups from 13 to 15, I believe. We have our qualifications for the area are, once again, 109 and west. We cover that part of the area. Mount Juliet has their own league and everything like that, so we don't try to interfere with the two leagues crossing up with each other. Like I said, approximately 950, 975 kids. We're looking at expanding again next year. We have a fairly large budget. It's in the $180,000 range. We provide the kids with uniforms in the spring. Uniforms, we provide the jerseys and the hats. The families provide their own shoes and pants. If there are situations where those families need help, we do provide those items for them also. In the fall, we do have a pay-for league, which is a kind of an instructional league. Our seasons run from early March to early June. We take a break for tournaments and so on and so forth. Then we start again in early August and run through early October with the fall season. Between the two leagues or two sessions, we'll have approximately 1,500 kids participate. Questions?
Where do you receive majority of your funding from, sir?
It is fundraising. We sell a lot of sponsorships through local businesses, signs, and so on and so forth. That's approximately $65,000 there. Last year we spent $38,000, I think, just on uniforms. This year is going to probably pushing pretty close to $47,000 on uniforms alone. So it takes a lot of money to run a league like this. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate anything that you can possibly do to help us. You've been great to us in the past, and we look forward and hopefully you will continue to do that.
What are you requesting for both, first for Christmas for All and second?
5,000 for Christmas for All, and I think this year we're requesting 8,500 for the combined. Since we added the Babe Ruth League. Real quickly, one thing we do, a lot of people don't realize, all the buildings up at the Baird Park are built by us, and we take those buildings and give them back to the city or the community, however you want to look at it. We're getting ready to build another heating facility. Last one cost approximately $350,000. All money raised by individuals here and given to us by the people in the communities. We're fixing to have to double the size of that due to the increase. We've gone from 500 kids to 950 kids in the last 3 years due to the increased influx in the area and the fact that we seem to be running a fairly good quality program.
Thank you for what you do for the kids.
More than welcome. Thank you for what you do for us.
Yes, sir.
Compassionate Hands.
Hello, I am Sheila Weathers with Compassionate Hands. I am the Director of Financial Development. And most of you probably know what we are, but we are a shelter for men and women, primarily in the winter. It started out in 2013 with 444 beds that were provided with 8 churches that opened their doors to us. When I came on in 2018, it became a 501c3 with John Grant leaving his position at a local church to become the executive director. At that time, a 5-year strategic plan was birthed with a large board. And so with that, 25 churches opened their doors and housed our unhoused guests in the winter. The whole goal of Compassionate Hands to start out with was that no one would freeze to death in the winter that was unhoused. 2020 changed our lives. Before then, it was primarily volunteer ran without, other than John Grant at the helm. And when 2020 hit, churches shut down. And we sought we spoke with an infectious disease specialist at Cumberland University and asked, how are we going to do shelter with the churches shutting down and the 55 and over being the most fearful to develop COVID and not survive. And a lot of our volunteers were 55 and older. So in 2020, we bought a building on North College Street, and we began housing the men in that building. And then we did have Glade Church the first year of in 2020 that opened their doors for our women. At that time in 2020, we had 2,679 beds provided. That was an average of 90 men and 22 women a night. And then the next year, of course, we had to run by CDC guidelines at our buildings, wherever they were. And in the next year, the next winter season, we more churches opened up. And so 21, 22, and this past year, we've utilized 5 churches for our women to spend the night. We have now jumped from 2,673 beds provided last year to this past winter, we are up to 4,000 beds that we provided overnight. Now, when I say beds, that does not mean unique individuals. We have unique individuals were 224. And then, so when we bought the building, we also realized we needed to go ahead with our 5-year strategic plan, and we began offering more resources. So now the resources that we offer during the winter season from December 1 to March 15th is our winter season. And we have 2 care coordinators that sit with our friends and find out how can they be a productive individual. And that can be getting on a computer. So we have computers in our office for our friends to get on, to look for jobs, to sign up for housing or apartments. We offer them rehab, and we will go to great lengths, our care coordinators will, to send them to rehab, which requires transportation cost, which most of the rehabs that we have found that are no cost are in Kentucky. We have been sending our friends up there either with volunteers, and we pay for their gas, or with Lyft rides. And we also, if an individual comes to us and they want to go back home to Texas, where they ended up here in Lebanon stranded, we will pay for them a bus ticket to Texas if we can confirm that they have a place to stay on the other end of that phone. We provide birth certificates, IDs, counseling. If we have clients that want to counsel, we are collaborating with a counseling service here in Lebanon, and those counselors will come to the office and have appointments with them. We will get them mental health. I noticed all around us that there's so many in here we collaborate with. Caris, we send our patients to Caris. We send them by Lyft or a volunteer. We provide gas cards to our friends if they will do odd jobs around our building. We don't just hand them out things, but if they will take out the trash, if they will paint. We even had a guest this past winter, because he was so blessed by our service, he stayed all winter, that he painted one of our offices for us because that was his trade. But he has a bum shoulder, so he could only get through painting one office. And so other services will provide work boots if they need that for a job. We had 100 and from 11/21, because we opened up emergency because the temperatures dropped below 20. We opened up before December 1. And then after we closed March 15th, there was that weekend that the temperatures got back down to 20. We opened up for a weekend. And in that time, from 11/21/22 to 3/20/23, we our care coordinators met with 192 consulting meetings. That's 98 unique individuals. We purchased boots. We helped with security, Social Security cards. If we have a client that is a veteran, we go to great lengths to meet with the other veteran services and get them involved. If we have clients that are disabled, we have disability consultants that comes and meets once a month at our office and has appointments with them. Medications, prescription. Oh, this is the Director of Ministry Services here. She runs the building in the winter and has brought us up to just great lengths of service for our friends.
Question for you. Thank you for your report and for kind of giving us a synopsis. Where does your funding, majority of your funding, come from?
Well, thankfully, a lot of churches. We are partnering with about 45 churches. That does not mean every one of them give financially, but we do have several churches that are financial supporters. Grants, other grants, United Way. Of course, you all, thank you for all your past gifts. And individuals and foundations.
I know at a former church, of which I remember, did the Room in the Inn program.
Well, this is actually modeled after Room in the Inn.
And I was going to ask you, because you never mentioned about the bed. You mentioned beds, but you never mentioned about the evening meal.
Oh, I didn't. So we have evening meal. I didn't even explain all the program during the winter. So they come in, they register at 4. At 5 o'clock, the door is shut. Then they receive an evening meal that is usually provided by a church or some sort of group. They get showers, laundry, care coordination. We'll help them, give them vouchers, like we give vouchers to Wilson County Help Center to get clothing, and the thrift shop, Haven Thrift Shop. And then in the summer, spring, summer, fall, we are open 2 days a week, Monday and Friday right now, 10 to 4. They can come in at 10. They are able to go to Bible study if they would like. We're going to have life skill classes. They provide a meal. We provide a meal, showers, laundry, and at 2 o'clock we actually let them go rest until 4 o'clock. And we provide all their hygiene, and if we don't have the clothing or the shoes or whatever, we'll give them vouchers to the Wilson County Help Center and Haven Thrift Shop. And we also now do community training. This is my first time up here.
Last question for you.
Thank you.
How much are you all asking for in your application?
$15,000.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
No, just comments. I've been up there a couple of times to help them feed on their evening nights with our youth group with the department, and it's pretty interesting the amount of people they're able to serve that wouldn't get a meal otherwise. I think the Passionate Hands is the only resource for the unhoused really in our county.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to provide that stuff in the winter when it's cold is a pretty awesome resource to have.
Do you receive any funding from any other organizations or I guess government entities within the county by any chance, like cities?
City.
Okay.
We always apply for the city and United Way of Upper Cumberland United Way.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we've received from Community Foundation Wilson County.
Okay.
So.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
I got y'all a package coming Tuesday.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And again, real quick, I'm going to reiterate, I know there's a few people that slipped in, signed in, so kind of how it works is when we call your name, Ms. LeBron, she'll call your name, we'll come up, and then we'll give you 3 minutes if you can. Kind of keep it at 3 minutes so we can be in consideration of everybody's time. I know everybody's it's getting a little late, so 3 minutes. Tell us, give us a short synopsis of who you are, what organization you're with, who you represent, and how much that you're requesting, and what you'd like to do with the funds. So, is everybody good? Does anybody need a break? You want to keep pushing forward? Are we good? Okay. All right. Next.
Mount Juliet Senior Activity Center.
I'll pass those down. That's our schedules. I was going to give one to everybody to look at. My name is Belisa Sangden. I'm the director at the Mount Juliet Senior Center. I'm passing a schedule out just so that y'all can kind of see a weekly, that's a every week schedule. We currently have 424 members, with 174 of those being new to the center, and a lot of that 174 are new to the county, new to Mount Juliet or Wilson County. Our membership continues to grow, and which is a wonderful thing, but we're definitely out of space. We provide 14 exercise classes a week, and those are our most popular activities. Exercise and socialization have been proven to help alleviate depression and isolation in the senior population. As you see those activities, some days it's 10 a day. Those are all programs that they have either instructors or classes or leaders of a group. They go, that's oil painting, dulcimers, knit and crochet, ukulele, lunch and learns, card, theater, and day trips. The past year, our operating expenses have increased from $46,000 at this time of year to $55,300 as of now. That includes all the rising cost of insurance, utility, bus and van upkeep, and maintenance. Building maintenance is a huge expense to the center, as our building is almost 100 years old. A lot of our grants that are listed and that we have, they are set for a certain thing. Like we get a lot of grants from GNRC, but those classes, those grants have to be used only for those classes. We can't use those for operating expenses. If they're for yoga, then we have to prove and show that that's for yoga. Same goes for some of our other exercise classes. And a lot of grants we have are one-time grants, which hopefully we continue to get them, but we never know if we're going to get those classes. So if we don't have them, we have to make up for those classes with fundraising or out of our regular operating account. So with the building, lots of repairs, and we're just kind of trying to keep it a Band-Aid, kind of piecing it together, which we do the best we can. And we're very appreciative of the grants that we receive from the county and the city. We are asking for an increase in funding to help offset the rising cost and operate the center for our seniors. And like the amount of money just in a month is just unbelievable what we spend to have to repair, from roofs to I can't even, just more maintenance than I could even describe. So hopefully that's going to be resolved in the next few years. We'll be somewhere better, bigger building.
Hot topic down there, isn't it?
It is a hot topic right now.
Really quick, how much are you all asking this year?
We're asking $20,000 this year.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
Lebanon Girls Softball Association.
My name's Amanda Lester. I'm the president of Lebanon Girls Softball Association, or LGSA as we call it. We've been an organization since a 501c3 since 1983. We currently have 228 players in the league and 20 teams this spring. We charge $100 for the spring season, and we charge $45 in the fall season, where we usually have less players, about 175 in the fall and about 15, 16, 17 teams in the fall. We are asking for $4,000, please, and that will help. Since we do charge a registration fee, unlike Lebanon Youth Baseball, we do not turn anybody away that cannot afford it. So we do offer financial aid or completely pay the registration fee. We provide a full uniform, a nice sublimated jersey, pants, and belt. A lot of leagues around here only provide a shirt. And we could use the funds, as I said, for financial aid, also to continue to upgrade our equipment, field, and we would also like to add a covered area over our concession stand to help with the elements. And any questions?
I know that you didn't receive any money in fiscal year 22.
Correct. We did not receive the email. No, we did not receive the email. It was sent to somebody. We don't even know who it was sent to, but it was not sent to us. So we missed the deadline and did not realize it until after it had passed.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Lebanon Salvation Army.
I'm Steve Wheely. I'm one of the soldiers in the Salvation Army, and I've been down here quite a few years representing us along with some of the other people, and they decided to put me forward solo now from now on. Lucky me. And I used to know almost all the commissioners here, and my old commissioner's out in the audience now, I think. Where'd Sarah go? There you are. And I don't see Mike Jennings or Annette Stafford, so I feel kind of out of place now. But we're up on Lake Street, right across the upper part of Upton Heights, and that's where our largest part of our ministry is. But we serve a lot of people here in Wilson County, and you can see all the basic details in the handout we gave, the application form. And I do want to note there's a typo on the application form. They got our address down as 719 to 723 Lake Street, and it should be 715. 715 is where the actual chapel is. But as you can see on the handout, we give away, Salvation Army is the original Angel Tree program. There's a lot of other Angel Tree groups now, but we are the ones who began the Angel Tree program and still have the biggest one probably in the county. And we give away more than $40,000 worth of clothes and toys just through the Angel Tree program. Then we give away another probably 25,000 plus in Kroger gift cards to people, to give them financial assistance for just various things through our social services angle. And then, of course, our big program here is our after-school program for disadvantaged children, mainly from Upton Heights, where we serve between 35 and 50 children. It varies, you know, how kids are. They're there one day and they're not the next. But we focus on teaching them, tutoring them in math and English, because most of them are deficient in that area. And I really love the lady who's up here for the Wilson Reads program, because teaching a child to read is the most valuable thing you can do for their continuing education and their success in life. And so I love Dolly Parton and what she started, and I love that they're doing so well. I had no idea it was such a big program, and that was pretty impressive what she said. But we teach, like I said, math and English. We teach guitar. We teach piano. We have sports. We teach character building, of course, being the Salvation Army. We teach Bible study and things like that. Right now, we're expanding our building in the back so we can double the size of our kitchen, because we give the children a hot meal the first thing when they get there about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm a retired contractor, so I'm in charge of that. And I've had my fingers in several of the other ministries here over the years. I almost feel like I need to introduce myself, but don't have time to waste on that. Most of the other commissioners knew what I have done around town before, since I was a builder and since I retired. But we're only asking for $6,000 after hearing what the other people are asking for. I think we ought to ask for more. But we're very blessed by the community here who funds us very well. And we're actually one of the smaller corps in the Kentucky-Tennessee division, but we're one of only a half dozen corps that is entirely self-funded through donations like yours and through donations through the committee, through the different individuals here. We don't have to get money back from the higher up organization, and we credit that to the generosity of the people here in Wilson County. So I just want to thank you for what you've given us in the past, and we try and put our money to the we squeeze, as the old saying goes, which most of y'all are too young to know, we squeeze a nickel to the buffalo farts. But we appreciate what you've done for us in the past, and we hope we continue to serve this community. And in case, I imagine y'all know, being on the county commission, we were told by the management group for the different housing projects that starting in Upton Heights, they're going to start tearing down the housing projects one at a time and building back two-story units. So that means we're going to have twice as many people in a few years to serve as we do now. And I don't know if that's general knowledge, but that's what the people who run the projects told us. And I don't know if they're doing the other projects too, or just Upton Heights. But as Joseph Storehouse said, the people they help have almost doubled, 77% in the last couple of years, and the people we're helping have gone up a lot too, because as Wilson County grows, it's not just the wealthy people coming here, the needy people come here too. And so I'm not surprised that so many people are asking for so much money right now. So just thank you once again, and good to see y'all again.
Any questions or comments from the committee?
Appreciate what you do.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the new quote.
I like the, yeah, thanks for the quote. I want to echo the importance of the books and the kids and teaching the children. Leaders are readers, so that's a good one to remember. So, all right, Ms. LeBron.
Mid-Cumberland HRA.
Hello, good to be here tonight. So I'm Sharon with Mid-Cumberland Human Resource Agency. We're a multi-program agency that has been around almost 50 years. We have several programs. We have transportation. You may have seen our vans around, the Mid-Cumberland vans. We have Meals on Wheels. We have an in-home service. We have an ombudsman that works in nursing homes. So we do have a variety of programs. So what we're asking for tonight is dues, and it's always a little confusing. So back when the state formed HRAs across the state in 1974, they allow us to assess dues. And it's based on the census population in 11 cents, which is the lowest amount we can ask for. So we take that money, which is $16,251.07. We take that funding and we will use that for a variety of things. It could be as federal match money for our vans, meals for homebound senior citizens. So it can be for a lot of different things. The board approves it. Our board is comprised of all the counties that we serve, and so your mayor is on our board, and they will make the final decision of how the funding is spent.
How much you asking for?
$16,251.07.
You know what we gave last year?
We got around that last year because I think that's what y'all funded last year was the dues.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Anything else? Thank you.
Will I get funded since I'm under 3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one. Take care.
Oakland FCE.
I'm Ruby Margot. I represent Oakland FCE Club. Oakland Club was established in 1916. We are believed to be the oldest FCE club in Wilson County. My funding request is to provide maintenance, utilities, and miscellaneous, repairs to our building. Our building is, it has been on the small plot of land on Brea Church Road for 100 years. In 1923, the men in the community got together and purchased this one-room building from DuPont power plant in O'Hickory. It was disassembled and brought to the plot of land where it is now, reassembled by the men, and over the years, a kitchen and bath and central heat and air has been added. Being over 100 years old, it's in constant need of some type of repair. Even some of the newest additions need repairs. Last year, or with the 2021 December tornado, a carport over at Brea Church blew over on the roof of our building. So the funding that we received in 1922 went a lot toward repairing our roof. This year, I'm asking for funds to help pay for our utilities, electric, propane, water, our insurance, and pest control, and cleaning for our building. We have, for 36 years, we had an annual fundraiser, our ice cream social. However, 2019 was the last year we had that fundraiser due to COVID, and we have not been able to pick it up yet. Last fall, we did have a bean supper to raise a little bit, and just recently, a couple of weeks ago, we had an indoor yard sale as a fundraiser. We do quilting demonstrations at the fair and Fiddler's Grove, and are paid for that. And we rent our building out to receive some funding. The funds that we're asking for you is solely for the maintenance of our building and utilities. Excess funds and funds from our fundraiser we use for community support projects. Monthly, we make food donations to the Community Health Center. In November and December, we have a coat drive, and take the coats and distribute them to the Community Health Center. In the fall, late fall, December normally, we provide items to the Cedar Croft home, toiletries, socks, undergarments, even sheets, and then we try to adopt at least one family, and sometimes we can adopt 2 families for Christmas. And through our fundraisers and donations from our members, we provide Christmas for these families. This past Christmas, we were not given a name, but a family was provided by Southside Schools, and we bought bicycles for 3 children in a family and groceries for the family.
How many members do you have?
We have 30-ish members. We have recently, within the past year, have had an addition of members, and then we've lost a couple of members as well. But we average around 30 members. And some of our members are our second generation Oakland Club members.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm a sucker for ice cream. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that get keyed back up. That'd be awesome.
Well,
That'd be
we
nice.
would.
I know.
36 years is a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of people from the community would come, but of course, took the hit from COVID, and just have not been able to get it started. We average about 25 freezers of ice cream.
Wow.
And it's kind of, it's kind of difficult for our aging members, some of them, to make this ice cream, and then this year with the added expense of eggs and milk and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we will be having it this year, but maybe next year.
You said that your original building was moved over 100 years ago.
1923.
Is it true that Colonel McFarland oversaw that project personally?
Well, I don't know. There's been some discussion about who donated the plot of land. You may be able to help, but we have so one member of our club that has passed now said it was Dr. McFarland, and then someone else said it was Will Trice.
I have
We're
no
just
doubt that
thankful.
both of those men were probably involved in that at some point in time or something like that.
One last question. We'll let you go. How much are you all requesting?
We are requesting $3,500. That's what we have requested for the last 2 or 3 years. We did not need that much this past year, but
Yes, ma'am.
that's what we're
Yes, ma'am.
requesting.
Thank you for coming and giving the report. So
Thank you very much
Yes, ma'am.
for all that y'all do, well, for the community and all these people here. Sometimes I think, well, maybe we don't deserve it, but we appreciate all the help that you can give
Yes, ma'am.
us.
Now, if you get the ice cream keyed up, myself and Mr. Fields will probably be there. Okay?
I want to tell you, we will.
She'll buy twice as much.
We will send you a card.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Save the date.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Wow. I mean,
Mount Juliet League.
My name is Robin Spate. I'm the park administrator for the Mount Juliet League. We were established 55 years ago this past March, 1968, in our current plot of land. A lot of you might remember where Kroger is right now on Lebanon Road is where we first played. I wasn't there for that, but I did start like mid-70s, so the park's near and dear to me. I played there, my husband played there, my son played there. I've been the administrator for 13 years, so this is like my 13th time in front of you. generous people. The park's grown as, over the years, we've got 1,500 kids this spring alone. We will probably have about that much for our fall. It's the influx of everybody moving. Everybody loves Mount Juliet, everybody loves Wilson County. We also have a Challenger League that compromises handicap, both mental and physical, both youth and adult, and their numbers have increased this year. That program we cover free of charge, from uniforms, trophies, team party, and they have a fall and spring season as well. We're requesting $10,000 to help cover some of our costs of our capital improvements. Every year we think, okay, this will be the year we get to really go at a capital improvement project, and then we'll have something. We'll have a flood, we'll have COVID, something will take away from that. We do charge a membership fee of $165 a player, but based on our current budget, it costs about $277 per player per season to play. We make that up with grants from both the county. The city does provide us a grant as well. We do sponsorships, we do donations from the community, and we do have a partnership with Two Rivers that's a good sponsorship for the next 8 years to go. But all the prices are going up. Just to run the program increases yearly. So any help that we can get, we would appreciate.
Question.
Yes.
Do you all make anything off concessions? I know.
We do have a concessions. Sometimes if we can make 15% off concessions, we feel we're doing good. That's another thing all those little things, things offset the cost of play. We also will not turn anybody away. If you can't play, if you can't pay, you're still going to play. We're not going to turn you away.
I know the league is very good for the kids. I know it's always it's packed every time I drive by there during the season. So it's.
And this year's been the biggest in my 13 years that we've had. So
yes, ma'am.
That's great.
Any other questions, comments from the committee? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Drug-free Wilco.
My name is Tammy Groh. I'm the Executive Director of Drug Free Wilco. We're a prevention coalition here in Wilson County to prevent and reduce drug misuse. This money that we're requesting will be specific for our youth prevention coalitions, student-led initiatives that we have our high school and we have one middle school that go in and they put together the campaigns to address substance misuse. We do receive federal funding, state funding, local grants. I write those to bring in, but those are specific. So they'll come with restrictions, some reimbursement grants. This is specific money that the kids, they design their campaign, and it gives us a little more leeway about what we can spend that on. An example is we just had trips. We worked with both school districts, Mr. Hutto and Mr. Luttrell, to where we could send kids from Lebanon High School, 2 different groups, 6 each, to all of the 5th grade elementary schools to do Escape the Vape activities with almost 500 5th grade students. So they were in all the elementary schools. They spend the day. We spend the day in the schools. They put together these activities that teach them the harmful effects of vaping. Another one, Lebanon High School YPC, they put together a mock DUI. They did that in conjunction with the prom campaign to encourage kids not to misuse substances during prom. We had also Green Hill High School and Mount Juliet Middle School came together and put together a big program where they taught assemblies for all of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at different times to talk about vaping, because we know that can lead to other substances to misuse. So we know that we can get in there and teach, but we know that kids listen to their peers or older students, and so we're really trying to develop that program. We're only asking for $1,500 this year. The reason being, as you know, I use every dime and penny pinch, and that's just where we're at right now. So we're developing our coalitions. We have them now at Mount Juliet Middle School, Mount Juliet High School, Green Hill High School, Lebanon High School, and Watertown just this previous month, working on their prom campaign, and we'll be in Wilson Central next year. So it's using every penny. What can we pull from our grants? What we can pull from what you give us, where it's a little more lenient to do these campaigns. But we believe it's making a difference. with our kids, and we love the leadership. We also pay out of federal funds to take the kids to TTI, which is a leadership program. They're at UT Martin for a week. We take them and they learn how to be leaders in their community as well, and they take that and build that with their youth prevention coalitions. So our request is for $1,500. Any questions?
Any questions, comments? Thank you so much.
Great,
Yes, we
thank
appreciate
you.
what you do.
Thank you.
Glable Community Center.
Everybody good? No one needs a break? No one needs a break? Everybody good? Good. Sandra, how you doing? You good?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
My name is Mabel Beasley. I'm president of the Glable Community Center. We represent all the community and people that rent it. We have to raise our own funds. We're self-supporting other than what you give us. And I want to thank you for the past contributions to us. It's always used in a great way. I will tell you that last year was a very good year for us, and that we raised $69,777. That's just income coming in, renting a center and everything. The expenses, however, is what gets you. It's $47,748. It's always, we've been in that building since 1991 and 32 years, and it's constant now, repairs, things we're doing. Recently, we have the garage doors that, you know, we're pulling up and down, and one of the doors, track broke off of it and just collapsed on the top side. So we had to repair those. They've had dents and bruises and everything else through the years. So those cost $9,200. We are asking $7,000 just to try to compensate for that. And it's a continuous thing to keep the building looking good and trying to have it to present to people to rent it. And there's not that many places in Wilson County to rent for a lot of things. We use it for Wilson County elections, you name it, all kinds of things. So that is what I'm asking for this year, and I would appreciate anything that we get. Thank you so much. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all doing a good job down there.
I'm trying.
I know it.
Oh, we have one employee, I do want to tell you this, and we do pay him. But other than that, it's all volunteer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Real quick, we're going to recess for 5 minutes just for a quick bathroom break, and we'll reconvene here just shortly. Thank you.
I think both of us are ready for leave.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
We're in the home stretch now.
Yeah, you're good. I said, I think both of us are ready for leave. If they got a cold, you get to
We actually have sold 1,000. However, our last one was from a sponsor. And 100 names. So I know that they're going to ship to them. So is not you know what I mean? The developer, Panatone, bought the shares. 80 plates.
I'm sure it's in there. I was just thinking. So we've got Greenville, Statesville, Southern Shores, Wilson Rise, Brookhouse, Senior Citizens,
It's easy to remember.
I know that they've started recording the meeting just now.
Readily available.
They may not want to pay for it when they go
Do they have them printed yet?
Well, that's what it is now.
Oh, okay.
We've sold 1,000. The last batch of them, somebody sponsored, so we need to pay them $30 fee, but we gotta get the names.
I got you. How many names you lack?
I think it's 100. So I'm sending to Del Webb, to the people that have already signed up, to say, hey, get your family members on here.
Yeah.
Because if everybody signed up, so one family member, we did it.
Let me give you another email. I'll put this guy on the president. He lives across the street from me. I'll see him, but
I'm gonna send the email to all the people in Del Webb.
Thank you, though, I appreciate that.
Did you get one? You got one?
He already left, Mr. Gentry. Yeah, he's done cut out.
It's the Justin's. What do I need to do? Jackie's Giles? Okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and call it back to order, if you would. And Ms. LeBron, next one up for us, please.
Greenvale Community Center.
My name is Greg Olin. I am the treasurer of the Greenvale Community Center. We are a very small community center out in the very edge of the county at North Milton Road and Greenvale Road. We're asking for $4,200 this year to cover expenses and a little bit of repairs that we need to do to the roof. Our building is a former one-room schoolhouse. It was built in the 1930s. Actually, some of our members actually went to school there, so it's kind of interesting. And you guys are our only source of funding. We don't have any other funding. We do rent the building out, but it's very minimal what we get on rentals. I think it's listed in there. We're asking a little more for expenses side of things because they've obviously gone up. Utilities have gone up, so we're asking a little more there. We meet once a month and we have a potluck for the whole community. I think this week Miss Sarah's going to come and bring her chicken and dumplings, so if you want to join us, just come on out.
What time?
6 o'clock Saturday night. Yeah, first Saturday of the month. You got any questions for me?
I do not. No. All right. Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
very much for your time. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
your
Thank
funding.
you. Yes, absolutely. Be safe.
Miss Sarah. Statesville Grange and FCE.
I hadn't heard either one, any of y'all ask what does the FCE do, or what does or any of these other
Well,
places
we knew that
do.
you was gonna tell us.
No, you just wait. Now, I was gonna ask you a question. What does FCE do?
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
But y'all gonna get, looking for people to give you money, you need to know what they do.
And that's why you're gonna tell us, right?
Stand up and ask for money,
No, that's not what they do.
But
It-
tell us in there.
FCE stands for Family Community Education. It is, so I'm presenting two different entities. Family Community Education is a program that goes through the Wilson County Extension Office and used to be, so Mr. Fields will know what this is, and you may know what this is. Is home demonstration clubs. We're all, after, when you come out of 4-H and you have the future farmers and then you have future homemakers, well, after a high school, then you're farmers and homemakers, so the women would have their club. The farmers, would just sit down at the local store and just, sit there and, and tell their little stories and stuff. But the women were always teaching each other how to, can and all that kind of stuff. So Extension has all kinds of programs for every age group. So these clubs educate people on how to live and sustainably, on their own. Like they teach them how to sew and how to quilt. Used to you'd have that stuff in school. You don't have that kind of stuff anymore. But we provide a lot of services in the community. Statesville has actually been growing over the past. I'm the president of the Statesville Club. And we have 25 members now, where we had 3 about 4 years ago, but because y'all getting everybody to move out into my neck of the woods, we've got all these people that are showing up. So we meet once a month, and there's always food involved everywhere, just like with Greg's Bunch. Y'all really need to attend that, because that's really good too. And that's not too far down the road from me. But out in Statesville, where we all are, and in Watertown, it's 20 miles from Lebanon. So we don't have your ball clubs and your places where you can go and do a lot of things. And there's not a lot of places for people to, get together. So we stage events and stuff for people to come, and we socially interact, and anybody that needs any help with anything, we all contribute. This is the only monies that we get throughout the years, and what we do with the money that we receive from you all. We are at the Statesville Grange now, and what we do with the money there that we get from you all is to maintain the building and everything else. Last year, with the funds that we received, the Grange is the old one-room schoolhouse, which the cafeteria is in Fiddler's Grove. They took it down there. So at the Grange, we meet. Everybody meets there. The communities, we have a potluck. The communities will get together for Easter or for whatever, so everybody gets to know each other and everything. And then if there's a need in the community, we all as a group provide that need. Just this past week, as an example, the Grange and the FCE Club work together because we're in the same building, but it's actually the Grange Hall. This past week, there was a family with 5 children whose mother's appendix burst and ruptured, and she was in the hospital, had surgery. So Dad goes to get Mom, and when he's taking Mom home from the hospital, Dad suffers a stroke. And Mom has to try to, park the car from the passenger side. Well, there's nobody at home with the 5 kids. The oldest one being almost 16. So we provided meals for those children for the time that Mom and Dad were not there, and people picking them up and, various things like that. So whenever there's a need in our community, we fulfill that need. With the monies that we got last year, we were able to put blinds in the one-room schoolhouse. Jerry, we don't have Miss Ruby Armstrong's curtains, anymore. And so we have and that was a major deal because those were very expensive because, those big tall windows in those rooms. We were able to get a couple of new air conditioners. The air conditioners were like 20 years old. And so with the funds that we're hoping to get from this, we're hoping to maybe put some picnic tables, something outside, and maybe put in a new ramp. We do have a ramp to the back door, but, different things like that because we have several elderly people. But that's what we do with the funds, what we will do with the funds, and we only ask for what you normally give us. You know, we just take that and we use it for utilities, propane, any kind of maintenance and expenses. And the Grange is also started as a farming organization. If you've ever seen Little House on the Prairie, you know that Charles Ingalls went to the Grange, and it was the thing to help the farmers where they could keep their crops, control the pricing on the crops and things that they had. So it's a farming organization, but it also has a state organization as well as the FCE. So they all just kind of come together, and it's a big family thing where we help each other. And we don't, we do rent the building out, but we only ask for a donation, and sometimes, you know, they just clean up the building, and because there's no place else to rent anywhere around there. Like I said, we're 20 miles from Lebanon, and we're about 10 miles from, 7, 8 miles from Watertown. So, and there's only one place in Watertown. So.
How much
questions?
How much you all asking for this year?
$2,500 for each one, so it'll be a total of $5,000. And it's just for the maintenance and upkeep of the building and stuff like that.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Thank you, Ms. Sarah.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you.
Southern Stars.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Ann Winfield, and I'm a co-founder of Southern Stars. We opened 23 years ago, and we provide therapeutic horseback riding and equine assisted activities to children and adults, including veterans and first responders who have suffered injuries in the line of duty. Therapeutic horseback riding first came to light in World War I, when nurses in England found that horses could provide faster healing to soldiers who had been injured because the horse's body mimicked the movement of the human body, the warmth from the horse's body, and the movement throughout the entire human body when they ride, also being non-weight bearing, helped healing quicken and got the soldiers back in action faster. So from that, therapeutic riding now has gone into actually very many facets, and like everything, it has become specialized. Different organizations focus on different things, such as women that have been victims of domestic violence and mental health. Southern Stars takes a holistic approach. We provide activities that include socialization skills, physical exercise, educational activities, and recreation. We play games that the children oftentimes are not able to participate in after-school activities like soccer, basketball, baseball, etc., because of their limitations. But on horseback, they do play basketball. They do play musical chairs. They are able to play baseball because the horse is helping them. And of course, the animal-human bond, you know, we're the children and the animals that Diane was talking about earlier, helps them through positive reinforcement. They get to ride a horse, they get to be with that animal, then pet them and feed them and brush them, and that sometimes helps encourage them to do more physically than they might otherwise. We are not licensed physical therapists or occupational therapists, but the activities that we provide can pick up and provide kids activities that kind of help continue what they were getting in therapy when their insurance benefits are exhausted. The two major challenges that Southern Stars is facing is, first of all, Terry and I have donated the use of our stables and our time, and also have contributed financially to help the organization stay running. And we're retiring, so we are going to have to look at incorporating some of the help that we've been giving back into the Southern Stars budget. And we, of course, are facing a lot of expenditures that have increased. Horse feed has doubled, hay has doubled, and farmers are paying out the nose for diesel, so they're not going to donate those things to us. So our $2,500 request is to help cover the difference between what we're charging families who very often, because we have, single parent families, we have low income families that are bringing their children, we're trying not to pass the cost on to them. So there's a gap between our cost and what they're paying in fees. And so we do fundraising to help breach that gap. Questions?
I'm not familiar with your particular group, but I know that the actress Jennifer O'Neill does a very similar thing, because I was invited to one of her deals over at her ranch off of Brick Church Road. She does that for veterans who come back with PTSD and stuff.
Amputations.
So it's very similar.
We actually have a contract with the VA in Murfreesboro, and those are services that we also provide, especially to soldiers that have amputations or PTSD, and are having to integrate back into society with some of those challenges.
And you said that you guys do not receive funds from insurance or anything in that nature, do you? Okay.
We do not.
So mainly just from fundraising and donations, or how do you?
Breach the cost back, fundraising, and Terry and I, when we can, help.
And I could say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was gonna say, just, I saw firsthand what this program does. My daughter was part of this program for about, 3 years, I guess? And,
Okay.
It was fantastic. She'd go up there every Saturday and spend a couple hours on the horse and ride around and play games and interact with other kids that had other disabilities or
Yes,
all
we
sorts
serve a
of
wide
disabilities.
variety for children and adults. And, we have some great stories. When we have more time, I'll be happy to share those stories with everybody.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wilson Rides.
I just told a few people in here, we give rides by horse and buggy, and we take people to the Mercantile, church, and the mill. So just making sure y'all are awake. I had to get that out because I was going to crack up if I didn't. I gave you guys a sheet. I believe most of you are new on the committee, so I'm just going to go over the who, what, when, where, why, and how real quick. My name's Galen Wilson. I'm the executive director of Wilson Rides, and we give rides to seniors who no longer drive or seldom drive here in Wilson County. The seniors have to be 55 and older and be able to get in and out of a vehicle with limited assistance. We give rides to local destinations such as medical appointments, grocery stores, hair salon, senior center, visit family. We work with a lot of the groups that you've heard tonight, the senior centers, the Help Center, FCE, our churches, just almost SCAN, SALT, all of them. We even have people out in the Watertown Community Center. I think we have 3 members in that group, so we need drivers in that area, by the way. We go between Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 4. We use fully vetted volunteer drivers that have to take a hour-and-a-half driver training program. We've checked their backgrounds. We also check their driving records, and we do that monthly. And the reason we do this, transportation, I wrote this on here, transportation equals mobility, mobility equals independence, and independence equals equality of life. And we also relieve the burdens that families feel when they have to ask each other for rides, or their neighbors, or even people they go to church with. They don't want to be the person that when they see coming, that they say, oh, they avoid her because, or avoid him because he needs a ride. So we relieve a lot of those burdens. We gave over 391 round trips last year. We have between 65 and 70 active riders at any time. And I just say that because some move away, some their living circumstances change. We've had several pass away. We have 41 active drivers. Some of those are full-time employees, so they really do just give one ride a month. And then we have other volunteers who give 3 and 4 rides a week. So we are asking for $9,700 this year. After hearing everyone speak, I think, gosh, I'm asking for a lot, and then I think I'm not asking for enough sometimes. Because our seniors, as one lady put it earlier, we always come behind children and animals when it comes to fundraising. So our biggest increase this year was in insurance. And part of that is just for the fact that we added a part-time employee. Also, one of our grants is requiring us to have workman's comp. I budgeted, if you are looking at our proposed budget, I budgeted $4,000 more for insurance than it cost this past year. Well, it's actually $8,000 more. So we approved our budget in January, and I just found out that our total insurance this year is going to be around $16,000. So you'll see in what I'm asking for, a large chunk of that is insurance. And we do I am asking the other entities, City of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Watertown for a share of the insurance as well.
Committee, any questions? I've got a couple. How many members do y'all have right now?
Right now we have 65. We were right at 70 last week. We had a couple move away, 2 pass away. One can no longer get in and out of the car by themselves.
And what's the cost of your fees?
$25 membership fee that's paid annually, and then the rides are $6 round trip.
And the last time that you had that you all increased the fees for the members, by any chance?
We have not.
Have not.
We're trying to keep it very cost effective. And since you asked that question, we do write for grants that pay for those that can't afford the service. We also give free rides to veterans, and then we give free rides to any vaccination or shots that they may need, pneumonia, shingles, flu, booster shots, but those are all free rides as well.
Speaking of multiple drivers, or for you guys, for how you use volunteers and insurance, is there any other organization under your 501?
No.
Okay. The insurance, is there a reason for it to jump so high for that? Do they give you a...
Well, in the past, I can't speak for it this year, but we're adding workman's comp and then just a regular increase in the liability insurance. I looked, and part of it's due to our budget increasing because it's a percentage of your budget. But it's all of the insurances, just like the guy from Rehab 23. We carry excess general liability, excess volunteer insurance, directors and officers insurance, now workman's comp, and then just the overall general liability policy increased during COVID because we're transporting a vulnerable population, seniors, and then also the troubles that Uber and Lyft had. All of the companies that provided this kind of insurance almost disappeared. There's probably a handful now that do, and so maybe they charge what they can.
Do you have insurance limitations or criteria? Well, I'm sure you have criteria, but for the drivers, for their vehicles, I mean, is there a minimum of 100 or 1,000, 250, 500,000, whatever liability or
The minimum requirements are 100, 300, 100. If it's split, and if it's combined, it's 300,000. So our insurance kicks in after 300,000.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Brooks House.
Oh, okay. I see.
Miss Reese from the Brooks House, and this is my assistant. Her name is Pam Reeder. This is her first time, and I wanted her to come and see what y'all do. And guess what? We waited till the last end. We are asking for the same thing. We are a 501c nonprofit. This is the only grant we get. We're proud to say that, and we're very thankful for what you do. We use this money not only to help our ladies, but we work with our local police and our local sheriff department. So when they have someone in the middle of the night, it's me. I'm coming, because they need housing, like temporary hotels, food, and gas, and that's what we use that money for. So we're asking for the same thing we got last year. Any questions? Have you been here? Come and see us.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye, y'all. Cedar Senior Center.
Hello, I am Carla Salisbury. I'm representing the Cedars Seniors Incorporated over on a University Drive. We are a center that provides lunches every day from 11 to about 12:30 or 1 for people 50 and up all around the community. Life is about relationships, and we try to get them in there so they can connect and love on each other and go home. But during the week we provide Bible study, we have activities, we have bingo, we do fundraisers to get the interest up, to pump them up, energize them, and it's a great service. We have 180 to 200 members. I'm new to this, and so it's a joy. They come in and eat and fellowship and go home and come back the next day. So, any questions?
How much are you all asking for this year?
I think 12.5. So, yes.
Where did you say you were located again?
On University,
Okay.
right in front of Cumberland University.
226 University
Yeah.
Avenue.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Under your application,
Yes.
you circled 501c, but you didn't check off whether it's 3, 4, 6, or 7. Is it 3?
And then I don't know.
501c,
I believe there are 3.
3.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Y'all hang in there. Y'all are doing a great job. You were all newbies to this, it sounds like. Yes.
They're a 501c3.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Bye, guys. Habitat for Humanity.
I got a boot, yeah. I wasn't laying back there, y'all. I have a boot on my foot.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. I'm Veronica Anderson. I'm the Community Relations Manager with Habitat for Humanity here. And we have built 92 homes in Wilson County because of our community and grants and fundraising that we do. So our homes are not free. The people that qualify purchase the home at a 0% interest 30-year mortgage. We right now have 56 active mortgages right now paying us back over 30 years. They go through classes,
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, one of our homeowners. So, you know, we just bring the community together to build homes and build strong communities here. So the funds that we request, we use for one of our community builds. We build 4 houses a year, and that's what we do. So thank you very much for everything you do. And
I missed the
any
number of how
questions?
many houses. I'm sorry, ma'am.
We've built 92 over the
92.
past 31 years.
I want to say
Yes.
thank you. That's amazing. That's very
No,
awesome.
thank you.
So, yeah.
We do it all together for the community.
Yeah, that's astonishing. So I really do appreciate your time and effort. How much are you all asking for this year?
We're asking for 2,500, and last year we were pleasantly surprised. We got 5,000, and that with the cost of building going up, that was great. So
2,500 on your application.
That's what we, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions or comments from the?
Y'all, I just hope, because it's a great program. I've worked on houses with
Thank you.
guys in Davidson County, but with the cost of construction materials and the availability of construction materials, hopefully you'll continue to be able to do what you do.
Oh, yes. We put some different procedures in place to make sure we can do that. So, yeah, and we have a restore opening soon, too. So that'll help us hopefully build more houses here, so.
Do you all see any assistance from any of the cities or local? Okay.
You're the only grant that we
Yes,
applied
ma'am.
for.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Tucker's Crossroads softball.
Mr. Hubner.
I'm Charlie Hubner with the Tucker's Crossroads Ballpark. This year we asked for $9,000, which we've asked for the last several years and have received that. After our application was put in, the ballpark did get hit by a storm and took out several light poles, the roof off our field house, roof off of a dugout, and our new scoreboard that we just bought last year. So about $40,000 worth of damage with no insurance. The insurance company wouldn't insure the poles and some of it because it's 60+ years old. So the only funding we get is from y'all and our 12 sponsors. The rest of it is funded out of my pocket. We have about 220 to 250 kids per season, spring, and then same in the fall. It is zero cost to any kids. If they need pants, bats, gloves, we manage to find the money somewhere, here or there, and take care of it. But our budget is way more than we get coming in, and I've been responsible for taking care of it the last few years. So I'd like to get whatever we could get.
What are you asking for?
I asked for $9,000. That was pre-windstorm.
Understand.
So the light poles are 50 years old, 60 years old. Unfortunately, we can't put new lights on the top of the old poles because they're too heavy. And Middle Tennessee don't help anymore with any kind of poles, any kind of lights, any of that. I do it all. I have to maintain it all myself. I do all the mowing, I do all the cooking, I do all the cleaning, I do all the field striping. I do everything there myself with one other person that helps. So.
With your request being in early, before all the damage you suffered, you need to adjust it?
Yes, sir. I mean, I'd be grateful to take whatever you'd be willing to give more. It's going to cost us about $30,000 just to repair just put 2 new poles up. Because we're going to have to drill new poles and poles and lights and all that, get new wire and all that stuff to go on them. So, I mean, anything is better than nothing.
got to speak on that. Legally, can we accept that? I know Mike Jennings not here, but as far as the application, whatever's filed on the application, is that something we have to
And
ask
you
him?
can grant,
You can grant anything?
as much
Okay.
as you want.
Just didn't know how.
Right,
Okay.
they can just request
Okay.
and then you can.
As long as we're good on that,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
How much do you pay personally? I'm just curious.
Sir?
How much do you fork out personally?
Last year I spent about 38,000 out of my pocket. I've been blessed to have my own business, and I've done well, and that's one of my things. And that's not counting billable hours that I've mowed and do all that stuff. That's just to pay the electric bill, the insurance for liability, umpires, so on and so forth.
What do you do for work?
I'm a contractor.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had a water line break, and the water bill's $1,800. Like, course, the little kids like to leave the stuff on and let the water run before we catch it. Coaches leave the lights on all night. I mean, we got commercial electric too, so it's cheaper to leave them on all winter than it is to have them cut off and cut back on. So our electric bill's $1,000 a month. The water bills that they practice every night in spring and fall, and then we have other teams that'll come from other places that can't find anywhere to practice. They'll come. I'll let them use the field too, because there's very few places to practice. These fields that the city and stuff own are so overwhelmed now, and kids aren't getting the practice time and stuff. So from time to time, I loan it out to let other people use them too.
Gotcha. Really appreciate all your contributions.
Thank you.
What's the number of kids you got this year?
Right now, I've got 220. It'll vary. Spring or fall, I'll probably have 260, something like that. Of course, we're way out in the eastern part of the county, out where it's quiet, and we get a lot of little country kids playing in flip flops and whatever. But
Sure.
It's not about who you are, how much money you have. We're there to teach kids and have fun, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
So
Very much, very much.
Have you contacted any of the corporate sporting companies?
I have, and because our fields we have such a small base of people, they want to give to like the city of Lebanon where they have 900 kids to see their signs and see their stuff. So it's really hard to get anything out of them. They want to give they would rather give 100,000 to them than they would give me $1,000. That's just the way the corporates are working. Middle Tennessee won't help me none. I can't get.
My son's with a national golf company, but I wouldn't do any good. But he has friends on the baseball end of it.
Yes, sir. I've tried. There's a sport warehouse here in town. I've tried a couple different ones through different people that I've known, and thus far I hadn't had any luck. And I can't do grants. Years ago, the fields were donated to the community from the Neal family. As long as somebody will operate it and run it, and it's sustainable, it gets to stay a ballpark. But the minute that somebody gives it up or they have to put money in it, they're going to bulldoze it down and put cows back on it. So 3 years ago, I was asked to take it over, and here we go.
Wow.
And it was in bad shape.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at.
Oh, cow pasture. Yep. That's
Yep. So we would like to keep the kids playing, and as long as I can afford to do it and keep on, we're gonna roll with it best we can.
Maybe you can get your commissioner when his son signs his contract.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was on the phone with Chris earlier and Terry Scruggs both. So hopefully there'll be some money there one day because he played on it when he was a kid. And so did his dad.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much, and
all right.
Thanks for coming, and thanks for what you're doing out there.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night.
Charis Health Center.
Hello, hello. I am Lauren Smith. I'm the Executive Director at Caris Health Center. We're located in Mount Juliet. We've been there about 16 years. We have 2 clinics and a mobile unit that goes out into the whole community. Bottom line, we provide preventative healthcare services, improve access to care and referrals, address health equity, reduce costs and unnecessary emergency room visits, and I think most importantly, we teach and train not just community leaders like yourself about healthcare policies that can best benefit our whole community, but also how to improve the lives of the people you serve.
Does
anybody, go ahead.
Sorry, how much are you asking for?
$10,000 to help with patient labs and a broken EKG machine.
Lauren, how many people do y'all serve a year, you think?
That number is a little skewed because of COVID, where we took on everyone in the community during 2020 and 2021. I just got done doing 2022's numbers, and traditional uninsured patients for Wilson County were 1,800 individuals with 2,600 encounters, and that was Wilson County.
So with that 1,800 uninsured, y'all just write that cost off? Is that what happens, or is there any cost on an individual?
So bottom line, I don't turn anybody away due to inability to pay for both a visit or lab work, if you will. I'm going to use women as an example. We have a special partnership with the state where some services are kind of contracted with the state. So, for example, free mammograms, free healthcare, cervical screenings. Those certain visits are completely free to certain individuals. And then some visits, we ask for a donation of $30. But if there is any indicator that that $30 would be a barrier, and a barrier may look like a patient saying, well, I've only got $15. Well, I don't want your last $15. So we end up waiving about 45% of all fees, period, to a 0% cost, and we just absorb those as part of overhead.
Any other questions or comments?
Nothing. Nothing from you.
You hear enough from me, don't you?
Thank you.
so much.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Now go warm up. It's freezing in here.
I know.
Cumberland University.
Hello, I'm Ron Pavin. I'm the athletic director at Cumberland University. We're asking for $10,000. We are renovating Noakes Lassiter Field. You've been very generous through our years with the baseball with Woody Hunt. I'm kind of doing the Woody Hunt thing here. I'll never be Woody Hunt, but try to act like him a little bit. With that, we have Carroll Oakland the past 10 years plays. They don't have anywhere to play their football games. And so we let them play there, and we're going to help raise money to put turf and maybe have lacrosse. And we have the largest stadium in the county at Noakes, and I see in a vision of us helping the high schools and middle schools play bowl games and other games there. I think we are really embraced our community. We do 2,000 hours of community service in our athletic department, and we've helped build houses, paint things, and do everything with the community. And so I think this will help the little kids playing on our field, even though we have college athletics. And I thank you. I appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Leadership Wilson.
I'm just going to give you this when you have time. It's just a list of every group project that's been done since the beginning of Leadership Wilson.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, thanks. I'm Dory with Leadership Wilson. We started in 1993 when Lucy Lee started the program. We have an adult class and a youth class every year. The adults pay $950 tuition fee. The youth are free. Every high school in the county, public and private, selects 4 juniors from their junior class, and it's based on leadership. It's not just on grades, it's on leadership, and that's who goes through the program, and we don't charge the youth anything at all. It's a program, if you're not familiar with it, it begins in September, and we meet once a month. We do an agriculture day, business and industry, an education day, a public safety day, health and social services day, state government day, local government day, and lifestyles. It is a group for the adult class. We take about between 30 and 35 business leaders, community leaders, put them through the program, teach them as much about Wilson County as we can, and then they come together and do projects to give back. And that's what this list that you just got, we do 5 group projects a year. Some of the ones that kind of stand out in my mind are the SRO program. That was an actual Leadership Wilson project a long time ago.
SCAN was that was actually my project when I went through in 2001. Terry Ash came to us at that time and said, we need some help with SCAN, and we put that program together for him. If you've been to the Wilson County Fair, we do a special needs beauty pageant that was started by Leadership Wilson. The Elmer Elkins softball field that was put back together, that was a Leadership Wilson project. The new Watertown Playground was actually a Leadership Wilson project. 2 or 3 years ago, Mayor Hutto called me and said, can you just do a sales tax marketing, not to promote the sales tax referendum, not to be against it, but just to educate the people of Wilson County where your sales tax dollars go. That was a Leadership Wilson project, and then it did pass on the referendum that year. Wilson Rides is actually part of our program that we've helped to support every year. This year, to me, one of the most important ones was we did a book fair project. And we selected 2 schools in the county, two schools in the city or Lebanon Special School District, and each of those schools selected students that may not ever be able to go to a book fair because they didn't have the money. So we raised the money so these children could have money, and they thought they were being selected on, not because they were low income, but they thought they were just special kids, and they actually gave them money to go to the book fair like all the other children. So we do projects every year, but most of all, we learn about Wilson County. And then as you graduate, then that encourages you to get involved in one of those, whether it be agriculture, local government. Beth Bowman, for one, ran for county commission after she went through Leadership Wilson just because of her exposure to the county. So you have any questions? I don't want to go over my time. I know you're ready to go home. I'm sorry, Diane.
How much funding do you receive from other organizations?
We do apply for a Mount Juliet City grant, and then of course we have the tuition that the adults pay. Pinnacle Bank gives us money every year that helps pay for our state government day, and other than that, Regions Bank sometimes will give us a grant, but other than that, that's it. It's all fundraising. We do a reverse draw, and we do a Dare to Dine every year, so it's basically all fundraising.
And how much are you asking for?
I think I asked for $2,500. I'm pretty sure that's what's on the application. I think that's what it is.
All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Oh, 67. Oh, well, never mind. I didn't ask for 2,500. I can't remember.
67?
Okay. Okay, we were doing that based on the youth leadership.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Have a good night.
thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. Miss, excuse me. Are you part of the grants?
Yeah.
I didn't get your sign in. I apologize.
I got here just a couple minutes late. Mount Juliet Youth Football. Are we on there anywhere?
Mount Juliet Youth Sports. Perfect. Come on up, but I'm gonna need you to sign in first.
Okay. First time doing this, so I didn't know where to go. Didn't get very good, I guess, direction.
Oh, you're all good.
Well, welcome. Glad you're hanging out with us.
Yes. Thanks, I enjoyed it. It was
Yes.
education.
Yeah.
I wish I could have grabbed a couple people walking out the door and talked to them.
If you
yeah, I
shoot me
did.
an email, oh no, you're good. If you shoot me an email with those organizations, I can get you their information.
All right. I am Ray O'Daffer. I'm the president of Mount Juliet Youth Football and Cheer. We operate in Mundy Park in Mount Juliet. We used to be at Charlie Daniels. We are asking for $3,500 to specifically go to our financial hardship scholarship program. So we don't turn anybody down if someone has financial hardship and unable to pay for either football or cheer. That's exactly what we use this money for. That's pretty much it for that. We service basically mostly Mount Juliet, but also all around the county, really. We've got a pretty good tackle program with cheer. It's about 400 combined tackle and cheer. And we also run a flag program in the spring. We've got over 400 kids in our flag program. We are looking at starting a and that's a co-ed program. We're looking at starting an all-girls flag football program. We work with NFL football, and through them, they tell us that we're one of the larger programs in the area, and they really think we could benefit from girls flag football. I know Mount Juliet High School is working on setting up girls flag football, so we're going to partner with them a little bit and try to get some of that going. I know as far as like they try to get money from the Titans for girls flag football, but they want all the schools in the county to get on board before they'll kind of sign off on doing anything countywide high school level. So we're kind of exploring that opportunity as well, but this specific grant is solely for underprivileged kids playing flag and tackle and cheer.
What's your membership fees or your fees?
Flag football is $135, tackle is $190, cheer is $270. Cheerleading uniforms are ridiculous.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, what tackle program are you guys affiliated with now?
We are with oh my God, we change every so often.
That's
TYSA.
TYSA.
Yeah, Tennessee Youth Sports. We were with TNYFL before that, and TISA before that, and then TNYFL before that. So
I coached in TIFA for 5 years, the Lebanon's program.
Yeah.
And I served on their board of directors also, and it's a lot of work to run a youth football program and cheer program.
it is a lot of work. I've been involved in the program since 2009. I've been secretary, vice president, flag director, president, the whole 9 yards, whatever. So I'm also the dude that does the mowing, the striping, the rosters. As soon as I leave here, I'm going home to do our flag football playoff brackets.
Oh, wow.
Our regular season ended yesterday. We've got 46 teams, 420 some kids. So getting
it's like
ready.
having 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah, it is. I work for Regis Bank. I do IT. So it is. We're all volunteer. No one down. We don't have anybody on the payroll. Mundy Park is an aging facility, and it's kind of bleeding us dry at this point. Plumbing, irrigation, electrical. I mean, you just name it. It's just one thing after another. So this is all we're asking for, is just so we can get little boys and girls to play flag football, or tackle football, cheer, and that kind of stuff. We don't want to turn anybody away. So that's what we're asking for.
Thank you so much.
Any
Any
more
other questions or
questions?
comments from the committee?
All right. Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Sorry for the confusion.
No, you're fine.
all
Good.
Next year I'll know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Glad you made it.
Hey, LeBron,
Special Olympics guys who I'd like contact information for. One other thing we're planning on doing is setting up a program with some of the Special Olympics to do at least a game or a couple of games down at our park with the Challenger League. We donated a bunch of flags to one of our Wilson County flag teams that went to play in some competitions. So my wife is a special ed director for Wilson County Schools. I've been a Special Olympics coach down in Memphis when we lived down there. So
Nice.
that's something that's really big for us too. So
Wow.
we're going to bring that into our program as well.
Good deal. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you guys.
Can
Go
I
have a good night.
just email the info?
Okay.
Email?
To
Maybe email it to you.
yeah.
Where would you like me to email it to?
Info.
You know what? Oh, then I got that one. info@mjhyfc.org.
Yep.
Perfect. I'll
Thank
put that
you.
in.
Really quick, what was the total number did you have for applicants that we heard tonight? I counted 38. I might be off.
39.
We had 39. Okay.
We are missing Vine Branch Fellowship, which was new, Home Safe, Restoration Community Outreach, Noreen Community Center, and West Wilson Basketball Association.
Okay. All right. Thank you for everybody to hang out tonight. Thank you so much. We'll reconvene tomorrow evening so we can start going over the applicants that came before us tonight, and looking over and making a decision on what we're wanting to issue in grants. So
What time's that meeting tomorrow?
that is at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and
Do we contact these individuals?
What'd your email say? They had to be here tonight? I think we set it up for tonight and.
The second email that I sent out included what you put in the text.
Okay.
It said, we may extend, we ran over, we may extend to the next night.
I'm afraid some of them may have intentionally chose to come tomorrow instead of tonight, thinking it'll be so packed tonight, they would have to wait as long tomorrow. That's my
Yeah.
fear.
I just wait to see who shows
Yeah,
up.
well, yeah, I mean, I'd like that, to see who shows up versus fishing. I mean, I think that's fair. If that's the will of the committee, what do y'all want to do? We can discuss that.
We give them a time frame, let's say we're supposed to start at 6, we'll give them till 6:15, 6:30. If there's nobody showing.
Okay. Is that the will of the committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm probably not gonna be here. I have a city meeting I gotta be at, so y'all will miss me tomorrow.
We won't miss you.
Yeah, I hope a small part of you does.
I was gonna bring you money tomorrow.
Just a little bit.
I wouldn't fall for
What's that?
You got 1,000.
payoff, it's escrow account.
Yeah, he owes me 500 though. I was drawing the balls for the raffle and his wife won.
Oh, most definitely.
All right, do we need
Well, she won, what, 5?
do we need to do anything in reference to no votes need to be taken right now, nothing like that for accepting the
We
applications?
just really need to recess.
Okay, all right, we'll recess to tomorrow. If that's the will of the committee, can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
No, you can't
Gotta-
adjourn,
gotta-
we
gotta
gotta
vote for
recess.
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 Motion to recess?
Second.
Yeah.
All right, second.
Whatever.